someone thought they could keep you stuck forever, quietly pulling strings waiting for you to break. But something shifted the moment you stopped holding on. And now there's this strange silence where their control used to be like they're realizing they can't reach you the same way anymore. There's a very clear, almost undeniable energy surrounding you right now. Justice stepping in like that crowned figure with the scales. Something is being balanced whether they like it or not. This feels like truth coming forward, without you needing to force it. You didn't have to argue, prove, or chase. Something simply aligned, and now the weight is no longer sitting on your side. But what really changed everything is this internal moment. The Hanged Man reversed feels like you pulling yourself out of suspension. For a long time you may have stayed still, overthinking, waiting, sacrificing your own clarity just to understand someone else. And then, almost suddenly, you stopped. That pause broke. It's like you realized you don't need to hang there anymore, and the second you made that decision, the entire dynamic lost its grip on you. And now, there's something they're not saying. The Nine of Swords carries this quiet, restless energy, like someone lying awake, thoughts racing, unable to escape what's now catching up to them. While you've stepped out of the illusion, they're left sitting with it. The control they once had. It's turning inward, becoming their own mental weight. There's a powerful shift here. And as we move deeper into this reading, we're going to uncover exactly what changed in their energy and why they can't access you the way they used to. And this is where everything goes quiet. Not in a tense way, but in a way that feels protected. There's a deep stillness settling in now, like that resting figure beneath the three swords. You're no longer reacting, no longer trying to fix or understand what drained you. It's almost like your energy has pulled back into itself, creating a space where nothing from the outside can disturb you the way it used to. That shift, that silence, it's not weakness, it's recovery. Because what's unfolding behind the scenes is something they didn't expect you. Choosing peace over engagement. You choosing rest over explanation. And that alone is changing the entire dynamic. The moment you stopped feeding the situation with your attention, it lost its access point. There's also something deeper here. This quiet isn't just physical or emotional rest. It's like your mind is finally clearing. The thoughts that once circled, the doubts that kept you tethered, they're beginning to fade. And while you're lying in this calm, almost sacred pause, someone else is left outside of it, unable to enter. That's why the shadow can't reach you anymore. You've stepped into a space where it simply doesn't exist. And as this stillness continues to deepen, something new is preparing to emerge from it. Something begins to warm through that stillness, almost like light slowly returning after a long, heavy quiet. You may not even notice it at first, but there's a soft shift happening inside you. Like your energy is no longer just resting. It's starting to rise again gently, naturally without force. That peace you chose, it's turning into something brighter, something alive. What begins to happen here is a kind of emotional clarity that doesn't come from thinking, but from feeling safe again. It's like standing under a wide-open sun after being in the shadows for too long. Your body remembers what it's like to feel free. And in that space, you're no longer questioning your worth, no longer replaying what hurt you. You're just present. There's also this quiet confidence growing almost childlike in its purity, like sitting in warmth with nothing to prove. And that's the part they can't reach. Not because they've changed, but because you have. The version of you that once responded to their energy doesn't exist in the same way anymore. You may even start noticing how effortless things feel, without that weight attached. How your thoughts are lighter, your emotions more open, your sense of self no longer tied to what was taken or withheld. This is the blessing that found you not something external, but something that awakened the moment you released what was never meant to stay. And as this light continues to expand, it begins to reveal even more about why everything unfolded the way it did. There's something here that wants to be understood more clearly. What is really going on behind this sense of balance? This moment where everything finally started to even out, because it looks like justice, like things being made right. But underneath, it's not just about fairness. It's about your emotional reset. This isn't just about the scales balancing. It's about what filled your cup the moment you stopped pouring it out in the wrong direction. You didn't just walk away. You reconnected with something softer in yourself, something open again. And this is where it becomes more specific. Because for a long time, your emotional state may have depended on how things were going with them. Their silence, their attention, their inconsistency. It shaped how you felt day to day, almost like waiting for something to be poured into you. But now, there's a shift into something self-contained, like an overflowing cup that doesn't need to be filled from the outside anymore. And you might notice this in small ways. You don't check the same things. You don't replay conversations the same way. There's less urgency, less emotional reaching. It's not that you've shut down. It's that you've softened inward without needing a response back. And that's the part that changes everything. Because justice here isn't external. It's internal alignment. It's you finally giving yourself what you were hoping they would. And once that starts happening, there's nothing left for the shadow to attach to. Which means what once controlled you quietly loses its hold. Not because it disappeared, but because you're no longer available to carry it. There's something deeper about that moment where you finally stopped, where you were no longer hanging there waiting, trying to see things differently just to make it make sense. What is this actually showing us about that pause? That suspension you were in because it looks like stillness, like nothing was moving. But underneath, something was completing. This isn't just about you being stuck. It's about you reaching the end of a cycle you didn't even realize you were in. And this is where it becomes more specific. You may have stayed in that space longer than you wanted to. Going over the same thoughts, trying to shift your perspective, almost like turning something around in your mind again and again, hoping it would finally feel right. But it never fully did, because it wasn't meant to continue. And that's the part that quietly clicked. Not all at once, not dramatically, but in a way where you just couldn't stay there anymore. Like something inside you closed the loop, that suspended feeling. It wasn't punishment. It was a threshold, a space where you outgrew the need to keep understanding something that had already shown you what it was. And once that internal cycle completed, you didn't need to hang there anymore. You stepped out of it, not with force, but with a kind of calm finality, like crossing through something and not looking back. And this is why letting go felt different this time, because it wasn't just release, it was completion. And that changes how everything after it unfolds. There's something about that restless, overthinking energy, that late-night spiral, that deserves a closer look. What is really going on inside that Nine of Swords space? Because it feels like anxiety, like mental pressure, like something weighing heavily on the mind. But underneath, it's not just fear, it's conflict. This isn't just about thoughts keeping you up. It's about being pulled between two truths, almost like standing between two paths and not fully choosing either. And this is where it becomes more specific. You may have been trying to make something work that didn't fully align with you. Saying yes when something in you felt unsure. Holding space for someone while quietly abandoning your own needs. Like sitting between two sides, not wanting to lose either. And that tension, it builds, not loudly, but internally, until it turns into that mental exhaustion, that emotional overwhelm, because your mind keeps trying to justify what your body already knows. And that's the part that can feel so heavy, It's not just the situation, it's the disconnection within yourself. The moment where your truth and your actions weren't fully matching. And once you start seeing that, that's when something shifts. Because the anxiety wasn't random. It was a signal. A quiet pull back toward alignment. Back toward choosing yourself fully. And that realization, it softens the fear in a way that thinking never could. But there's still more underneath that needs to be seen. There's something softer underneath that stillness. Something that isn't just about rest. What is this quiet really holding for you? In that space where you pulled your energy back? Because it looks like recovery. Like stepping away to regain peace. But underneath, it's also reflection. This isn't just about you resting. It's about what your mind returns to when everything finally goes quiet. And this is where it becomes more specific. When you stopped engaging when the noise faded, certain memories may have come back. Not in a painful way exactly, but in a way that made you feel something again, like looking at something familiar. Two figures facing each other, and realizing how it once felt when things were simple. And you might notice this in small moments, thinking about how it started, what you believed it could be, the parts of yourself that were more open, more giving, more trusting. This isn't you going backward. It only looks that way. But underneath, it's your mind gently sorting through what was real and what wasn't, separating genuine feeling from what you had to carry alone. Because when you're finally safe enough to rest, you don't just stop. You begin to process. And that's why certain emotions resurface. Not to pull you back, but to let you see clearly what you couldn't fully see while you were still inside it. And this is the part where your healing becomes more honest, more grounded. Because now you're not just letting go. You're understanding why you held on in the first place. There's something important about that light you're stepping into. That warmth, that openness that's starting to return. But what is this actually revealing about that brightness? That sense of relief? Because it looks like happiness, like freedom, like things finally lifting. But underneath, it's showing you what you were carrying the whole time. This isn't just about feeling better. It's about realizing how heavy it had been. And this is where it becomes more specific. You may start to notice it in contrast. How different your body feels now. How your thoughts aren't as tight. How you're not constantly bracing for something. Because before you were holding a lot. Like carrying too much for too long, without even questioning it. Emotional weight. Responsibility that wasn't yours. Trying to keep things together. Trying to make something work. Even when it was draining you. And it didn't always feel dramatic. Sometimes it just felt normal. Like this is just what you do. This is just how it is. But now, standing in that clarity, you can finally see it for what it was. Not just effort, but overextension. And that's why the light feels so strong now. Because you're no longer carrying what dimmed you. You're no longer trying to hold everything together by yourself. And once you see that clearly, it becomes harder to pick that weight back up again. There's a moment here where your instinct doesn't rush back in the same way. Where instead of reaching, you pause, almost like pulling something close to your chest and holding it there for yourself. It's subtle, but you can feel it, the urge to give, to open, to extend yourself outward. It softens, and something turns inward instead. Not in a closed-off way, but in a protective, almost sacred way. You're starting to notice what it feels like to keep your energy to sit with it, to not immediately offer it up, just because someone else expects it. This is where the shift begins to show itself in real time. The same situations might appear, the same emotional triggers might pass by. But your response is different. There's a quiet discernment forming, like something inside you is gently saying, "Not this time." And it doesn't feel forced. It feels natural. Like your body already understands what your mind is just beginning to accept. You're not rejecting connection. You're becoming more aware of where your emotional investment goes. And that awareness, it changes how you move, how you respond, how you choose, in ways that are still unfolding. There's a growing awareness now that certain thoughts don't hold the same power they used to. Almost like something that once felt overwhelming is starting to lose its intensity piece by piece. You may catch yourself mid-thought, noticing how quickly your mind used to spiral. And now, it pauses. It questions. It doesn't fully follow through the same way. It's like watching something unravel. Instead of tightening its grip, the emotional charge that once pulled you in so deeply begins to feel distant. Not gone, but quieter, like a fading echo rather than a sharp impact. What becomes more noticeable here is how your response to discomfort is changing. Instead of letting it build into something consuming, you're able to sit with it, observe it, almost like looking at it from the outside instead of being inside it. There's a sense of separating yourself from the weight of it, like loosening swords falling away one by one, no longer pressing down the same way. This doesn't mean the thoughts disappear instantly. They still pass through, but they don't stay. And that's the difference. You're no longer holding on to them, no longer feeding them with the same urgency. Something in you recognizes that they don't belong in your space anymore. And that recognition is becoming harder to ignore. There's a quiet realization forming that your energy isn't just clearing. It's starting to organize itself differently. The way you give, the way you invest, the way you respond, it's no longer scattered or automatic. It's almost like something is gently recalibrating inside you, like a subtle alignment taking shape beneath the surface. You may notice how your focus begins to settle, how certain things simply don't feel worth your energy anymore, while other things feel steady, grounded, and real. What's becoming clearer here is a sense of stability that isn't dependent on anything outside of you. Not something loud or dramatic, but something consistent. Like a quiet balance returning coin by coin, piece by piece. You're not overextending, not overgiving, not trying to prove or fix anything. There's a different kind of rhythm now, one that feels more contained, more intentional. And within that, a deeper pattern starts to show itself. The way you once poured energy into uncertainty, it's naturally redirecting. Not through force, not through strict boundaries, but through awareness. You're beginning to recognize what feels sustainable, what actually supports you. And that recognition isn't something you have to think about anymore. It's something you're starting to live. There's a sense now that things are no longer shifting unpredictably. They're beginning to settle into a kind of quiet order. Not forced, not controlled, but naturally aligning like something finding its center without needing to be pushed. You can feel it in the way your decisions land more firmly, in the way your emotions don't sway as easily. It's almost like standing between two sides and no longer feeling pulled in either direction. Just steady, just clear. What's becoming more real here is your relationship with truth. Your truth, not the version you once tried to adjust or soften to keep things balanced with someone else. That internal scale. It's no longer tipping based on external reactions. It holds its place. And because of that, your responses begin to reflect something more consistent, more grounded. You don't second-guess in the same way. You don't feel the need to over-explain or overcompensate. There's a quiet confidence in this, like recognizing both light and shadow without being overtaken by either. You're able to see things as they are, and that clarity begins to shape how you move, how you engage, how you choose. It's not something you're trying to do, it's something that's already becoming part of you. There's a grounded certainty settling in now. Not something you had to chase or prove, but something that feels solid beneath you, like standing firmly in your own space without needing to adjust it for anyone else. You can feel it in the way you hold yourself, the way your energy no longer reaches outward for validation, but stays rooted within, like keeping something close protected and fully yours. It's not guarded, it's just liable. What becomes undeniable here is how much your sense of security has shifted inward. The things that once made you question yourself don't land the same way anymore. You're not easily swayed, not easily pulled into emotional uncertainty. There's a quiet authority in how you respond now. Not loud, not forceful, but steady, like you already know where you stand. And within that, there's a deeper understanding forming. You begin to see how much of your energy was once tied to things that didn't offer the same stability back. How you carried more than you needed to, gave more than was sustainable. Now that pattern doesn't fit the same way. It's like trying to step back into something that no longer aligns with who you've become. This isn't about closing yourself off, it's about recognizing your own value and letting that recognition guide how you move, even as everything continues to unfold. There's something here that wants to be seen more clearly, especially in that feeling of emotional disconnect you were carrying. What is this actually showing us about that sense of something not quite aligning, even when it looked like it should? Because it can look like disappointment, like something didn't turn out the way you hoped. But underneath, it's deeper than that. This isn't just about something falling short. It's about realizing what true emotional fulfillment actually feels like to you. And this is where it becomes more specific. You may have been holding on to an idea of happiness that didn't fully belong to you, something that looked right, something that seemed like it should work. But internally, it never fully settled, like standing in something that appeared complete, but didn't feel rooted. And that's the part that can be hard to articulate, because nothing was obviously wrong. But something inside you wasn't fully at peace, and now, that contrast is becoming clearer. Not in a dramatic way, but in a grounded, embodied way. You're starting to feel what alignment actually is. Not something you chase, not something you try to build from the outside, but something that grows naturally, like roots taking hold beneath you. And once you feel that difference, it becomes impossible to unfeel it, which means what once felt almost right no longer holds the same meaning. There's something here that wants to come fully into awareness, especially in that moment where things started to unravel and no longer stay hidden. What is really going on behind that shift, where confusion started to lift and things didn't feel so unclear anymore, because it can look like realization, like finally seeing the truth. But underneath, it's not just seeing, it's recognizing. This isn't just about something being revealed to you. It's about something within you responding to what you now see differently. And this is where it becomes more specific. There may have been a time when you sensed something wasn't right, but you brushed past it, second-guessed yourself, tried to make it make sense, almost like noticing something out of the corner of your eye, but not fully turning to look at it. But now, you can't unsee it. And more importantly, you're not trying to. It's like your awareness has widened, like a clear eye opening. And with that comes a deeper honesty with yourself. Not harsh, not blaming, just real. You're no longer overriding your intuition to keep things comfortable. You're letting yourself acknowledge what was actually happening and how it made you feel. And that's the shift. Because this isn't about calling anything out externally. It's about no longer hiding the truth from yourself internally. And once that kind of clarity settles in, your choices begin to align with it naturally, in ways you're still becoming aware of. There's something subtle happening within that space where you've started to hold your energy differently, where you're no longer giving so freely. What is really going on beneath that sense of holding back? that quiet containment you're stepping into, because it can look like protection, like you're finally keeping what's yours. But underneath, there's a layer of awareness still adjusting. This isn't just about boundaries. It's about learning how to trust your own perception again. And this is where it becomes more specific. You may notice moments where your mind still questions what you feel, where you pick up on something, but hesitate to fully believe it, almost like catching a thought, then second-guessing it before it can fully land. That's not weakness, that's recalibration. Because for a long time, your instincts may have been overridden. You learned to doubt what you sensed, to look for confirmation outside yourself. And now, even though you're holding your energy more securely, there's still a quiet process happening where your inner voice is finding its footing again. You're learning to observe without immediately reacting, to notice without dismissing. And that takes time, because this isn't just about protecting your space anymore. It's about becoming clear within it. And that clarity, it's still unfolding piece by piece. There's something more to understand about that balance you've stepped into, that inner alignment that no longer wavers the way it used to. What is this actually showing us about how your truth is operating now? Because it can look like stability, like you've found your center and you're standing in it. But underneath, there's a quieter shift in how you act from that place. This isn't just about knowing what's right for you. It's about no longer feeling the need to act on every impulse, every spark, every emotional reaction. And this is where it becomes more specific. You may notice moments where you feel something rise, a desire to respond, to speak, to re-engage, and then you don't. Not because you're holding back out of fear, but because the energy doesn't move you the same way anymore. Like holding something in your hand and choosing not to use it. That's a different kind of power. Because before you may have felt compelled to act, to correct, to explain, to bring things into balance externally. Now, that balance exists within you first. And not everything requires your energy to be expressed outwardly. Some things simply pass through without becoming action. And that shift, it's subtle, but it changes everything. Because you're no longer reacting to maintain balance. You are the balance. And from that place, your energy becomes intentional rather than automatic. There's still more unfolding here, but this part, it's where your control returns to you. There's something more nuanced within that emotional steadiness you've grown into. That calm, composed space where your feelings no longer overwhelm you. What is really going on beneath that sense of emotional control? Because it can look like maturity, like you've learned how to hold your emotion without being consumed by them. But underneath, there's a quiet awareness of where things no longer align. This isn't just about emotional balance. It's about recognizing where your energy isn't being met in the same way. And this is where it becomes more specific. You may find yourself noticing the gaps more clearly now, where communication feels one-sided, where effort doesn't quite match, where something just doesn't flow naturally, even if it once did, like trying to build something together, but feeling slightly out of sync. And the difference now is, you don't try to compensate for it. Before you might have adjusted yourself, filled in the missing pieces, tried to make it work anyway. But now, you see it, you feel it, and you let that awareness be enough. This isn't about reacting to it. It's about not ignoring it anymore. Because emotional maturity isn't just about staying calm. It's about being honest with what you're experiencing without trying to fix it for someone else. And that honesty, it's still unfolding into something deeper. There's a quiet trust starting to settle in. Almost like something guiding you back without you having to force it, like a soft pull toward light you don't question anymore. You might notice it in the way you respond to moments that used to confuse you. How you don't overanalyze them the same way, don't chase clarity the same way. It's more like you feel your way through it now. And somehow that feels more certain than all the thinking ever did. That shift shows up in small, everyday ways. Choosing not to engage when something feels off. Letting conversations end without needing closure. Not needing to go back and reread or re-explain what already drained you. It's like you've stopped looking outside for direction, and something inside you just knows which way feels right. There's a sense of being guided back again and again, even when your mind tries to wander. Like returning to something warm and steady without effort. And you don't always realize you're doing it, but you are. There's a pattern now where you let things fall away a little easier each time. Like releasing something and then almost without thinking, releasing it again the way dandelion seeds drift off without resistance. It shows up in those moments where your mind tries to circle back, tries to grab onto an old thought or reaction, and instead of following it, you loosen your grip again. Not forcefully, just naturally. You might catch yourself starting to engage, starting to stare in the same way you used to. And then something in you softens, steps back, lets it pass. It's subtle, but it happens more than once. The same situation, the same emotional pull. And each time you respond with a little less attachment. There's no big decision behind it. No dramatic shift. Just a quiet repetition of letting go. Again and again in small ways that add up. Even when you think you've already released it, there's another layer that gently follows. And the more this happens, the more familiar it feels. Like something you're returning to without effort over and over until it becomes your natural way of being. There's a moment where it clicks, where you realize you're no longer trying to control how things turn out, almost like standing under a wide horizon and letting it unfold without needing to shape it. You can feel the difference in yourself, how you stopped hoping for a specific response, a specific outcome, a specific version of how things should be. It's not something you decided in one moment. It's something that quietly happened as you kept letting go. You start to see that the peace you've been feeling isn't coming from things going your way. It's coming from not needing them to. That's why certain things don't pull at you anymore. That's why the silence, the distance, the unanswered parts, they don't carry the same weight. You're not waiting on them in the same way. And when you really sit with that, you notice something deeper. You weren't just releasing a person or a situation. You were releasing the need to control the direction it took, like letting something move on its own path without reaching out to adjust it. That's the shift. You're no longer attached to how it unfolds. And that's exactly why it feels lighter now. There's a shift in what your attention naturally settles on now. Like your focus drifting away from what once consumed you, almost without you noticing the way your eyes move towards something softer, something more stable. You might catch yourself not going back to the same thoughts, not revisiting the same questions, not replaying what used to loop so easily. It's not something you're stopping on purpose. It just doesn't hold you the same way anymore. Your energy feels more contained, more directed, like it's choosing where to go instead of being pulled. Even in moments where something familiar appears, the reaction isn't there. Your mind doesn't latch on your emotions, don't follow through, and you move on more quickly than you used to. There's something about this that feels quiet but real, like patterns shifting beneath the surface, like your inner world reorganizing itself in a way that reflects outward without effort. And the more this happens, the more natural it feels. Like this is simply how you move now. There's a quiet certainty in what you're drawn to now. Like your attention settling on what actually feels right, the way soft red blooms naturally turn toward light, without questioning it. You're not debating your desires the same way, not shrinking them or reshaping them to fit something that never fully held you. It's just there, simple, clear, and yours. You can feel it in how you move, choosing what feels aligned without needing to explain it, without needing anyone else to agree with it. The hesitation that used to sit between what you felt and what you allowed yourself to want. It's not as present anymore. You didn't force this change. You just stopped abandoning yourself. And now, what you give your energy to, it grows in a way that feels steady, not draining. You're not chasing connection, not chasing clarity, just allowing what fits to remain and what doesn't to fall away on its own. There's nothing loud about it, nothing to prove, just a calm sense of knowing. You're already living differently. You're already choosing differently. And whether you realized it or not, this shift found you because you were ready to hold it. Take what resonates from this reading and leave the rest. Your experience is personal, and not every message is meant for everyone. If something here felt familiar or quietly true, trust that. Thank you for being here and sharing your energy with me. It really does matter. I appreciate your time more than you know. If you feel called, you're always welcome to come back for another reading. Until then, just stay grounded in yourself and take care of your energy.